Yeah, y'all. Welcome, everybody. Body Hat Weekly. This is Dave
Oh yeah,
Sy.
I am Moka. Oh, hey man.
That's Moka.
I think what the hell?
Where's
Huh?
everybody in the chat?
Yeah, where everybody at? I don't see our intro. I must have erased it by accident. That's all right.
Oh, really?
This is
Nice.
our intro. Do 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 do
Do,
do do
do,
do
do,
do
do,
do
do,
do
do,
do
do,
do.
do, do.
Body Hat Weekly.
Body Hat
Body Hat
Weekly.
Weekly. Mocha only Dave side.
Dave Dab,
Mocha
oh,
only.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
about
We're
that
just here.
now?
We're just here to break an album on down. It could be popular, but possibly not world renowned. The meat and potatoes of a critical sound. You're bound to like the isms and the schisms we found. We spray jism everywhere that we go. We got, yeah. Anyway,
The
you know how
usual.
it go. Welcome, people. Welcome, body
Yo,
hatters. We're
Decipher,
back,
what up, dude?
we're back in the cockpit right now.
Gia. So we got a good one this week, I think. Do we want to talk
Boy,
about it or do you want to launch into it first or what are you feeling?
feeling we've had a week here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little wild.
Mm.
A lot of violence and crazy shit.
Like in Vancouver specifically.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not privy. I'm not aware.
Hold on. You know what? I just realized something. Why are we not? We got to switch to body hat. We was in a we was in the Sea Dock somehow.
Oh, are we in the wrong show?
Yep.
That's why we have no background.
Yeah. We're gonna have to sign out and get back in.
Okay.
That's the only way to do
Well,
it.
uh sorry guys, we'll see you in a minute. Well, long time no see.
All right. I don't know how that happened, man, but it is what it is. And it looks like we are still live, so we don't have to hit that shit again. Yeah. All right. Here we are.
Word.
Body Hat Weekly. Should I bother running the as I was saying before, I don't, if you hadn't heard about what happened, the various things, maybe let's just not get into that right now. But
Okay. Catch me up later.
I don't know. I
I
don't be
hope
remiss
everything's all right though.
if I didn't. Yeah, we the biggest events. We had a psychopath um, drive his vehicle through Filipino festival.
You're right. I did hear about that. Oh, horrible.
We had 11
Like
people
11
die
people or something?
so far. Yeah,
Insane.
just like crazy shit, man.
Man.
Devastating, man. So, I
Yo.
mean, I don't know how
Not,
many ears this reaches, but I just want to give my condolences to anybody who might hear this and have somebody that was close to them that was affected. I was gonna be at this thing too, which is
for
wild, man.
real.
The last minute, I didn't go too.
Well, God, yeah, God bless anyone impacted by this. And man, mental health is so important. I hope everybody's doing things
You know what else is
to keep
important though,
it
man?
cool, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It definitely is, man. It definitely is. Uh, big subject.
Whether that
Well,
means therapy or meditation or whatever, but you got to do something. Everybody's got to do something.
well, let's switch gears here, man.
All right. Maybe we step into a different arena for now, eh?
Yeah. So tonight we bring you Gang Starr's second album, Step in the Arena.
Yeah.
Officially came out in 1991. Supposed to come out in end of 1990. Who knows what
Yeah.
happened there? But man,
The single
right
was
off,
90 though, right? The first single, the
I
the
believe
the
so. Yeah.
title single, which was my introduction to Gang Starr. My very first time ever even hearing of them was I was watching Pump It Up with host D
I
Barnes.
love that was my favorite rap show, man.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I used to catch it whenever possible. Um and uh and yeah, the video for Step in the Arena came on and I was immediately like, "Whoa, this is cool." And it wasn't like anything that I was listening to at the time. So,
I want to add on to that by
yeah.
saying the earlier iteration of Gang Starr was it was my favorite. And this is not to take anything away from what Premier's style evolved into on the production tip, but I love the adventurousness of his earlier productions and a bigger focus on the jazz and using different breaks and all that sort of stuff. Now, later he got into the, for lack of a better term, the stab and sniff, chops and all that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
genius. Don't get me wrong, genius.
Oh, oh yeah.
But these formative years, man, these are is an audio delight for anybody who missed the earlier days of Gang Starr. That's what we're here to touch on tonight.
And and let's not forget his turntablism because you know, he didn't this was really like the blueprint for his whole scratching career, I feel like he he really patented his sort of style cut approach and really didn't drift very far from that at all on future albums.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, this is important primo, and it's primo that doesn't get talked about that much. You know, people talk about they always consider him the best or top 3 or top 5 or whatever, and he's earned that obviously. But when they point to evidence, they're pointing to later works, and
they do. Yeah, like that. So that's what I was trying to get at. Is why don't people pick apart sees delicacies, of this era of the first, let's say the first three albums in particular.
uh-huh. Yo, off,
No more Mr. Nice Guy was crazy though too,
it
for
was
real.
crazy, yeah.
But this was
It felt a little bit like an EP because of all of the remixes tacked onto it, but I went back and I was like, oh, it is 14 tracks.
yeah. Now to me, Daily Operation is pretty much like a hip hop Bible.
I was gonna ask what is your favorite Gang Starr album? Because
That's the one.
you learn a lot about somebody based on their favorite Gang Starr album, I feel like.
That's well, it's a toss up between that and this. This is a big one for me, man.
Really.
This is a big one. I love
This
Hard to Earn. I love Moment of Truth. Absolutely,
yeah.
man. But man, to me, these two, Step in the Arena and Daily Operation, are anytime albums. And you know me, I've talked to you about this. Like there's certain albums that I can only put on in certain times of the year, more
Mhm.
particularly if that was the time of year when the project was released. But
Yeah.
Gang Starr's catalog, I can put on anytime.
I agree. I agree.
And
It's
these two albums, Step in the Arena and Daily Operation, yeah, they're biblical of biblical proportions to me.
I don't mean this as a belittlement in any way, but I feel like Gang Starr are textbook hip hop. Like
Yeah,
they check the box for like all the rules that need to be satisfied to have a quality hip hop record, you know?
you want to know who to me the most textbook? Well, it's kind of in the same vein. I was like EPMD, right?
EPMD, yeah, yeah. E-
Everything is
yeah,
covered.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah,
You
Gang
could say
Starr
Pete and
too.
CL too, actually. If they had a longer run,
Oh
it would
no,
be
I
more.
digest on that one.
You
Just
digest.
and
You
because of
divest.
CL's lyricism was CL's lyricism. CL's lyrics were very abstract at times. Like they really went into left field territory.
That's
So to
fair.
me, yeah.
That's
But
fair.
you can listen to Gang Starr or EPMD, and it's a little more straight up. You know what I mean? Even though
Yeah.
Guru touted himself as somebody who was a little more abstract, and there's moments, that's for sure.
Yeah, a
Um,
little
should
bit.
we stop flapping our gums and just jump right into it,
Let's
or
yeah,
what?
let's get right in. Let's
I didn't even say see what the comments are saying in the live section yet, but let's get right to the title track. Let's
rest in peace to Shock G.
Once you step in the arena, cheetah, you're gonna be amazed when you gaze at the armor on this leader, fully clad and glad to fight a cause I won't pause. Fear is a joke, slow poke. I'm like claws that'll rip, cause your gift is merely flesh, superficial, and I wish you would give it a rest. But if you don't, I'll unsheath my Excalibur like a noble knight. So meet your challenger, a true hero, while you're a through zero. Getting beat to a pulp so that you can't run for help. I heard a gulp in your throat, cause you hope that I'll be merciful. But poop out the maiden strut as I rehearse a few battle drills and watch your bladder spill. Yellow fluid.
Yellow
Check how I
fluid.
mellowly do it, face to feet. To
check out how I mellowly do it.
as I'm pulling out my lance to kill you in advance to the winner's throne. Cause I own you once you step in the arena.
He pulled out his lance on them.
Pause.
In the arena, or rather Coliseum, there's people gathering by multitudes to see one perpetrator fall to the dust after the other, quickly disposed of at the hand of a known brother, born with an art in his heart that is Spartacus. And wonder one combat jack, just the thought of this matchup makes Gang Starr wanna snatch up one or two phrases from the new book with new pages of rhymes that are built like a chariot. Dope vocals carry
Love the
it
drum
to the
fill.
battle. Said if a beat was a princess, I would marry it. But now I must bow to the crowd as I stand proud, victorious, glorious. Understand now, cause battles and wars and much fights I have been through. One MC got beheaded, and you can too, forget it. Cause you rather be just a spectator or onlooker. Afraid you make it Slater, struck by a blow from a mighty gladiator. I bet you that later you might be sad that you played yourself. Cause you stepped up, chest puffed out, and in just one lyric, you got snuffed out, cause rhyming is serious. I'm strong, I'm like Hercules. You'll get hurt with these lines, close the curtains, please. The suckers can jet, cause I wreck once you step in the arena.
And this was a lengthy album too. We got some tracks to get through.
Yeah, we can't really run whole songs, I feel like.
Why don't we slide on over to the live there for a second? Because the comments are mounting up.
Okay, let's see what we got. Be wise. Anyone in here got love for No More Mr. Nice Guy? Of course.
We was just talking about it.
Of course. Man, Manifest was like a forever song for me. Still is, obviously. And it's great. For me, there's like a clear top three when it comes to Gang Starr. And my order, this is actually number 3 for me. My favorite is Daily Op, and then Hard to Earn just comes in like right below it. I mean, It's almost mood dependent, to be honest. But Daily Op was the album that made me really fall in love with Gang Starr. So
Mount those comments.
Manifest, favorite track ever.
Yo, Dave,
Yeah,
do you have a favorite Gang Starr track?
of all time.
Yeah. Maybe that's too much to ask for.
That's
What about
difficult.
what's your favorite on this album?
I don't know if I have a favorite on this album. It might be the title track. What I was going to say right when the song ended, I just remembered is, you were talking about how this isn't the traditional chop chop primo production.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
His sample blending is so excellent on this record. And I think this song in particular, the chorus is a perfect demonstration of that when he brings in those horns. Yeah. Love
we
it.
can't make it all about Primo, of course.
No, of course. And I think there's a lot to be said for Guru. I think at this point in time, he was, in terms of complexity, lyricism, and even rhyme structure, he was ahead of the game. I feel like by the time Hard to Earn rolled around, the game had caught up with him. That's not disrespect, but there were a lot of MCs at that time who were on his level or even slightly above. But at this point in time, there were very few people who were messing with Guru's pen, I thought.
He had a very unique delivery, his approach to delivery as well. A little clinical feeling too, but
Yes.
precise.
Yes.
In fact, I'll say this. I remember seeing, I think it was a special on one of the rap shows when the first Jazzmatazz album came out, and they showed some recording footage or whatever. And I was shocked when I seen him reading off of rhyme paper in front of the microphone, because at that point in my career where I was at, I didn't know I didn't know you're allowed to do that. I thought you always had to have shit memorized first.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the studio with P and wanting to bring out a notebook, but having already memorized shit, I said, oh, no, I can't do that. I thought it might be cheating. Then I found out it was quite usual for rappers to do that. But Guru was the first guy that I seen do that.
Funny.
Yeah, just one of those things that sticks out in my mind. Guru is funny though too, man. There's and I don't like to always bring it back to EPMD, but like there's certain lines that Parrish and E would say that is kind of a little quirky, and you make you ask why they chose that particular sentence. Guru's got a lot of those, and a very unique vocabulary too. And he had a knack of pulling out, maybe like phrases that from like generations past too.
Yeah. I think he's clearly pretty well read.
Yeah, but Guru the type of dude, like he would say like golly day, like in a rap, but make it sound fly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
but,
and also,
but still like enough to peak an eyebrow, right?
He also wasn't one to focus so much on flair and flow. It was more about like mathematical precision, right? Like he sets it
get
up,
the job done and get it done properly.
This amount of internal rhyme, this end rhyme, this is where it happens. Sometimes he goes over, but he ties it back in. And
you could almost
it was all very
picture him with tools of measurement in his studio in the lab,
right.
And like a protractor and a plumb line and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think and so because of that, And because of sort of, you know, the monotone style, you miss some of like the zanier words or phrases that he'll sneak into a verse.
My two picks for favorites on this album are a little unusual, maybe. Here Today, Gone Tomorrow is one of my top for sure. And Lovesick, man. There's something about the melody,
Yeah.
the story that he kicks. Um, you know, she made like a grizzly and started chewing my head off. Just funny shit. Or the What You Want song or whatever, like, you
What
know
you
what I'm
want this
saying?
time?
Yeah, you can let her in, but I'm trying to make spaghetti. Just
Yeah.
certain things like it tickled me that he would take the time to write something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like celebrating the mundane.
That's what and you know me, man.
That's dope.
Well,
Yeah,
you know
of
we. I
course.
mean, that's what we do, right?
Yeah,
I rap
that's the
about
bread and
doing.
butter.
I'm rap about doing my laundry, man. Make that shit sound dope.
Yeah. Heck
Word
yeah.
up.
Grocery
Should we
stores and
continue
shit.
on or what?
Yeah, let's examine his form of intellect, shall we?
Anytime you got a BDP sample, you're heading in the right direction. Let's cut. Grab that.
Not yet equivalent. Do you have a clue what to do? Can you groove to this smooth tune? You must presume it's important for you to follow this creation. And hey, son, life is more than having fun. So run to get some help with the problem that you face. Take a taste of the bass, put your perspective in place. Get real deep so you can keep involved, revolve and solve. So you can make the calls like a supervisor. He who is wiser than the others. Cause they need someone to advise them to discover things that they don't know. So the papers I will check. Then they'll start to grow to this form of intellect. Individual with intellect. Individual with intellect. Intellect. Individual with intellect. When the road is too steep, do you have the stamina? First album took us 2 weeks. Since then we have been planning an exclusive attraction, conducive to your satisfaction. Those of you lacking, we will put you back in your slot, so you can think and get a grip of yourself by yourself. And then you'll get a sip of a gift that's equipped with a script that shocks. You can take a walk or God with your mouth wide open, hoping you can find a way to display similar actions in a kind of mockery. Cause you don't realize the cost to be creative. Genius, please, I'm too clean to play. Glance per chance, watch Gang Starr perfect, and dance your pants like champs to this form of intellect.
You know the great thing was about this era
Man
too
with
is,
intellect.
you know the great thing about this era too is you can record and get through an album without relying on any guest appearances, such as the case with this one.
Right.
Yep.
Right. That wasn't even it wasn't a thing. It wasn't like part of the strategy.
That wasn't something. Yeah, I mean, it started to happen around 91 for sure. Absolutely. You started seeing it a lot more often, right? But up until that, it wasn't something that you were waiting on, looking for.
Right. I think and I think a lot of the earlier guest appearances were more a product of just having crew around rather than like targeting like, yo, I need to get Busta for this song. Or I need to get an E40 verse on this one, you know.
If you was recording in a studio with multiple rooms and somebody else happened to be recording their album at the same time.
Right. Like the infamous what was it Ghetto Superstar, where like Praz and Maya were just recording and ODB stumbled drunk into the studio thinking like he was in the wrong studio, and so they just threw him on the song.
I heard something like that.
Something like that.
I think Tribe Called Quest Scenario had similar things surrounding it.
Yeah.
As far as lore goes. You know what? I gotta retract what I said before. Maybe Execution of a Chump, the next track.
Oh, that's a really yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
hard to say,
It's
man.
a crazy loop too.
But you know what?
Even with like the elementary like keys during the hook, it's still just.
I think you're like me though. You know, your favorites on an album revolve constantly, right?
Definitely. I mean, there's some that are static, but with an album like this, I feel like so many of the songs are kind of on the same level that it really, each time I go through a series of run-throughs of it, I kind of gravitate to a new one or two.
Remember, I was telling you the other night, like currently on Body Hat Syndrome, like Digital Lover's my favorite shit right now.
Yeah. Oh man.
It could
tuna
change.
fish sandwich.
Yeah. You need a tuna fish sandwich. Oh my god.
Yeah, I love that song. I shouted out Doc G at the beginning of this because in Step in the Arena, Primo cuts on step up, step up, step up. I wanted to point that out. Rest in peace to Tupac too. If that helps anybody get it. Should we see what the Execution of a Chump is all about? Fishy McBlissy? What is that? Decipher, do you really have Tupac on your arm? Moke, are you listening to the music like without the rest of us, or am I on the outside?
Yeah, the song's playing.
I don't
the track
hear
is
it.
Playing right now.
Do y'all hear it? People in the chat?
It was playing. I'll play it again.
Now I hear it.
According to plan, I foiled the scheme because it seemed that I'm that man. And if you step up like the kid who did front, you will bear witness the execution of a chump. Now, let's get the purpose of it. I'm snatching hearts out of chumps, cause I deserve to love it. Observing acts of a snake while I evaluate. Eliminate the nucleus, I'm doing this. Piss using fists, using force of any sort. My conscience says it's nonsense. If I put up with it, hit meaning sleazy. Sorry type, slick types, I'll drive them all to danger. And make them hitchhike, cause if you step up like the kid who did front, you will bear witness the execution of a chump.
If you step up like the kid who did front.
It meaning sleazy. Sorry type, slick types. Choice. Choice. Interesting choice of words. Of verbiage.
I foil the scheme because I'm Batman. I foil the scheme because I'm Canadian.
Canadian, when I send a pen to the pad, I might lose a friend.
Why, okay?
Yeah! Well done.
Wow. That's
Bravo.
fun. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, you ever been tased in the face before?
No. Have you?
No.
But actually, you know what? I forget who. When we were on tour one time, one of the members in my crew brought a taser out. And I remember a couple of the cats, I was never a victim, but a couple of the cats were like tasing each other in the hotel room.
Oh, everybody used to do that shit.
Yeah.
But in the face though? With the one with the barbs? Man.
Yikes.
You ever get tased in the face?
Yeah. No. Isn't Taserface like the name of a character in a movie? I feel like.
It sounds like the type of movie that I wouldn't be watching. Just to be blunt. Who's gonna take the weight?
Beats me. That's
Yeah.
beyond comprehension.
Knowledge is power, and knowledge can be the difference between life or death. You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
I was raised like a Muslim, praying to the east. Nature of my life relates rhymes I release like a cannon. Cause I've been planning to be ramming what I wrote straight on a plate down your throat. So digest as I suggest, we take a good look at who's who while I'm reading from my good book. And let's dig into every nook and every cranny. Set your mind free as I slam these thoughts. And just like a jammy goes bow, you're gonna see what I'm saying now. You can't be sleeping, cause things are getting crazy. You better stop being lazy. There's many people fronting, and many brothers dropping, all because of dumb things. Let me tell you something, I've been through so much that I'm such a maniac, but I still act out of faith that we can get the shit together, so I break on fools with no rhyme skills messing up the flow, and people with no sense who be moving much too slow. And so, you will know the meaning of the Gang Starr. Grew with the mic and Premier raised the anchor swiftly as we embark on a journey. I had to get an attorney, I needed someone to defend my position. Decisions I made, cause now it's time to get paid. And ladies, these rhymes are like the keys to a dope car, maybe a Lexus or a Jaguar.
You just
Still,
randomly had to get
all
an
of that
attorney.
is just material.
Yeah.
So won't you dig the scenario and just imagine if each one is teaching one. We'll come together so that we become a strong force. Then we can stay on course. Find your direction through introspection. And for my people out there, I got a question. Can we be the sole controllers of our fate? Now who's gonna take the weight?
That's a verse, man. Woo. Really good. Are we gonna let it play to what to Primo's?
Kinda, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, look at
The weight of the world is heavy on my mind.
Man.
So as my feelings unwind, I find that some try to be down just cause it's trendy. Others fall victim to envy. But I'll take the road less traveled so I can see all my hopes and my dreams unravel. Relieving your stress, expressing my interest in the situation that you're facing. That's why I'm down with the nation. Spirituality supports reality. We gotta fight with the right mentality so we can gain what is rightfully ours. This is the meaning of the chain and the star. Land is power, so give me 40 acres. Let's see how far I can take you. Original, invincible. That's how I'm looking at it. I use my rhymes like a Glock automatic. Any means necessary, I'm going all out. Before the rains bring the nuclear fallout. So let me ask you, is it too late? Hey yo, who's gonna take the weight?
Okay.
So what Primo was doing right there, I mean, it was kind of like a precursor to what later became known as turntablism, playing the turntable like an instrument.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a good early example of that.
And how many other DJs can you say that you have memorized their exact scratch patterns on song hooks? And there's so many.
Whose name is not DJ Jazzy Jeff.
True, true. But I mean, I feel like there's so many Gang Starr songs and
Yeah.
other songs that Primo produced where like you can easily like verbally replicate the exact pattern that he was scratching during the hook. It's that distinctive and memorable, you know?
I want to say this about Guru though, man. Dude was a master of pauses, like Miles Davis, like letting the track breathe where it needed to. And you notice very seldom did he ever use backup vocals.
True.
Actually, a
That's
lot of
true.
rappers in that era weren't really relying on backup vocals, but still, like his were noticeably absent.
Yeah.
But his usage of pauses is so great, and it must have been great too for him when performing the songs live too. Catch a
Yeah.
breath here and there.
Energetically, it couldn't be more different from like Leaders of the New School or something, where they're all over the
Sport.
place. They're all going at once and might have backup tracks on top of it, Totally different.
Yeah.
As if my name was Dick Dastardly. His name was Dick Dastardly. That's coming later.
Yeah. Oh yes. There's some great slow tracks on this album.
Yeah. What a
Fantastic.
strange loop this is, by the way. I love the
Sound like something Ultra would have used on Four Horsemen too.
That's true. Yeah. I agree. Definitely.
Expanding the depth of your brain power. Ours is a better gift. Not to be bragging or lollygagging. I can see dimensions of sound and light around my mic. Transmitting lyrics like teletype. Reacting to a beat in a whisper. And like a transistor. I'm sounding dope when I'm crisper. The shortest length between 2 points is a straight line. I've gotta take mine. I heard it through the grapevine that some can't find height lines. And so I'm smothering. Over my prey I am hovering. Sometimes I'm shoving at the same time covering. You with a blanket of some language that's distinguished. How swift can I get? You ask and I'll tell. For I can excel real well like a gazelle.
Like a gazelle.
Past your head, I'll grab an abstract thought. Like some gain glory, while others get no part. I feel for the hurt ones, the victims of wrong deeds. Awareness is key. Our people have strong needs. Science, math, history, theology, philosophy, psychology, English and biology, etc. And all of these have a purpose. But genocide makes me nervous. So many questions, many opinions to mention. And damn, this stands beyond comprehension. Like planets in orbit, we ride the life cycle. Some take a rifle on the street cause it seems neat. Whatever turns you on, I guess. That's why vests are in season. I'll do my show, then I'm leaving. I'd rather be blasting those sounds on the other side of town than be there when they close the place down. But anyway, every day there's another way for a person to just flip. So a brother may simply go buck wild, get crazy and mad. I know the struggle my father had. Poetry, it comes from within and will always win. Hold captive bodies from end to end. And at a party, I'll survey then slay with the quickness. Displaying the fitness. Easing the mind and relieving the tension. And singing my own song that's beyond comprehension.
D-Cypher said this album is Primo's warm-up. I guess we touched on that, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, you could say, but it is like I still maintain it was.
It's not as if he wasn't already polished. Yeah. I mean, but this album's very much an extension of No More Mr. Nice Guy. Like the evolution is pretty clear. It's pretty evident. I do think there's a bit of a leap between this and Daily Operation.
I also think one thing to consider too is very likely that Premier changed his
you cut out, man.
I mean, I think he started using the Akai more prevalently. Okay, am I still going?
Yeah, you just came back in. I think you were saying that maybe he had moved on from like the Emu to the Akai or something.
Yeah, I think he got into the Akai shit later, saying like after 9/5, and that became the predominant thing, because you can hear a big change in the sonics, not just what he was using or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as sample material.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true. I mean,
What did you say he was using the SP on this, right?
Was he not? You know, I kind of just took it for granted. I had sort of assumed that like almost everyone was using SP up until like 92.
Well, you said EMU, right? But that could also be the Emax.
Oh no, I was thinking the SP. Yeah.
Start up an Emax.
The Ilyag Poo tracks.
Ever heard this song before?
No, what is this one? What is
You puny protozoa, you're so minute you didn't know the gang is watching you, but instead of just squashing you, I'm scooping you up out of the muck you wallowing like a chief chemist. Other scientists are following, planning to examine you on a peak, sticking you and fricking you. Just a teeny bit. I'm clever with science, but never relying on false words from cowards who forever be trying. Insisting they come off, I let them get some off, then come back with drum tracks their ears could get numb off. Blockbusting, like making love, I'll never stop thrusting into your system. So just listen, I'm like a neurosurgeon.
Cypher says so, but I think his production was identifiable. It's really
as I can get live, cause it's more than a style, it's conceptual genius. My effect on the scene is to project that I mean this. You deadbeat, wait until you see my next feat. I get respect for the rep when I speak, check the technique. 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 I'm rushing you like a defensive end, as I recommend that you comprehend. I could stomp you in a battle, contest, or war. What will
a lot of low end on
portrait sure of your immature, insecure for sure, meek visions of grandeur to really awaken you. I then'll be breaking you, taxing without action, attracting and snaking you, making you succumb to the drums of Gang Starr. By far we are truly gifted one, son. But if you were to speculate or estimate us losing, you'll be dying, trying to face the fate of your delusions. Cause miscalculation is all you're stating, so I'm trumping, fronting punks just like footballs. Cause I'm gonna put y'all back in the mess hall to clean up the slop and stop all the bull crap. Your rap's crazy whack, so don't try to pull that. You're lacking the vernacular. I'm slapping you and capping you and closing your jaw, cause you can't mess with Gang Starr. The guru and premier always dope with the blessed beats. Dance your ass off, hops, check the technique. Check the
Protozoa though.
Yeah. I like how he scoops you out of the muck. Appreciate that. Don't want to be stuck there.
Hey, you remember what I was telling you the other night about Lovesick? I was like, man, I think I identified. I'm pretty sure I identified where you got the scratch samples from.
Yeah, you did. I think you're right about it too.
Well, the Humpty thing to me is obvious. It sounds like Sick from Humpty Dance. Sick with this. Sick. And then I said the love was from I Need Love, LL.
ILL. Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain. And I haven't looked at one of those like sample finder websites or whatever. Maybe it's on there, who knows.
Yeah. I don't see it on
This is my joint.
Discogs, and I'm not really gonna dig any deeper than that. So
I never saw the music video for Lovesick until way later. Like,
yeah, me neither. I wasn't hip to it at the time.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to this album in the car the past few days, and in the car generally means me driving my kid to and from school. And Lovesick is the one that she has commented on multiple times, saying, "I like this one."
Yeah.
So
it's a good reason to like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the prettiest one on the album.
Throat meal.
Strangely enough, I've been struck, affected by her smile. And her style is worthwhile. And knowing that I'm deep like a river, I feel I should give her things that those
Imagine saying that to a girl.
Contrary to what I had wished, it seems that I've been dissed. But hey, I don't want to miss this wonderful opportunity. My boys, they try schooling me, but see, I know what I want. Someone who'll be there for the whole nine. This honey is so fine. but now she's hung up the line. Upset because I told her I'm busy. She made like a grizzly and started chewing my head off, screaming that I spend more time with friends. And also, she said I ruined her weekend. I said I know the stuff we had planned, but please understand. Right now I'm lounging with my man. I guess I didn't realize I'd hurt her. She said I had the nerve to just neglect her like that. Then she started bringing up past things, and she kept asking, how come our love isn't lasting? I said, hey baby, please calm down, cause I'm still around, and it's for you that my heart pounds. Can I call you later on? You say I treat you wrong, but why you flipping on me? She said something else and then clicked. Left me alone on the phone with the tone, and now I'm lovesick.
That's hunky, man.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Relationships can grip with the pain.
It's a shock.
Arguments in the crib, in the streets, on the train. I'm crazy fed, but then still. When she ain't there, I feel sad, I feel ill. Frowning cause I'm down in the dumps. The other night I took her out so she could shake her rump. But after we were there for a
Not
few,
someone else's.
some girls that I knew stepped up and asked me to come to a party they were having at their house. I looked at my girl, and yo, she started walking out. I said, hey love, just wait for a second, and won't you just check it? It's all a part of making records. Those were just some friends in the business. No need to get angry. So listen up while I kick this. And what about the things we discussed about having trust? What's all this attitude stuff? Now, hun, you know that I wouldn't play you, but time after time, you let your jealousy sway you. Hey, don't you turn your back like that. Come on, this is whack.
This is whack.
You're heated up like a thermostat. Then she stepped off in a whirlwind, and I don't know when or if I'm gonna see her again. I could have sworn she was the right one to pick, but now, man, I'm just lovesick.
This is an excellent song. In some ways, though, I feel like it walked so X to the next could run.
Yes, in a huge way. It's the proto X to the next.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Which X to the next is arguably my favorite Gang Starr song overall. It's top 3 for me for sure.
Okay, out of those 2 songs, though, I take Lovesick every time.
Do you?
Yeah, X to the next. I mean, there's a higher level of quotables, beats undeniable, but there's just something about the vibe of Lovesick. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. X to the next is brighter because of the horns and the hook.
Well, this had the horns too, but they're lower in the mix, of course.
But horn chords.
Hort. Big tune.
Big tune still more times.
Is this Will says Guru had one thing that separated him as an MC. He had a knack for breaking up a statement into 2 lines for the sake of a rhyme, still making it conversational, which is kind of what we were touching on before. Also, when we were talking about the usage of pauses and space. Negative space, positive space, negative space, negative space, positive space, positive space, negative space, negative space, positive space, positive, negative. Huh?
Somebody has a great LP. LP has a great line about negative space way back in the day in the co-flow.
What was that? What was
that? Always sticks. I don't remember what it is exactly. He says something about like my beautiful use of negative space. Indelibles. Something. I don't know, but it stuck with me. Obviously not in full.
could have fooled me, man, because the homie was a tumbleweed.
Yeah, that's true. He really was. He sort of like collapsed all over himself, especially in those days.
I just picture
lyrically
collapsing all over himself. Yeah, that
but
Lovesick.
in like
Hey,
but in an
anybody's
impressive way.
when we were breaking down the scratches for on the hook there. Anybody who knows better, if that wasn't Humpty and LL, feel free to say so. But I'm pretty darn sure that's what it was.
I'm 100% sure that that is Humpty. LL, I might be 80%. It sounds like the way he
Who
said love in I Need Love.
who else could it be than Humpty? There's nobody that sounded like that.
No, of course.
Sure, Cirque.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's one of the most distinctive voices in rap forever.
I never liked horses.
No, is that why you barbecued them for a contest?
When I was a kid,
Mm.
I hated horses, man. Something very unappealing about them.
Well,
I
they're
remember,
shit.
you were in school and there's like the little girls always seem to go for the horses. There was like the My Little Ponies, and it was like horse mania. And I just didn't see that. I didn't see like the appeal, man. Like I just didn't get it. Like what's the now it's different. Now I'm growing up and it's like you can admire an animal or whatever. But anyway,
Yeah,
I digest.
admirable animals.
Sounds like a rap group.
The admirable animals.
Yeah. Uh.
Many MCs are misled by the lies that they pump in their heads. The money and the fame that they're hoping to find will never come close to the scope of my rhyme. Now, some have been successful, but really, and yo, these MCs are clearly not nearly up to this level, or should I say caliber. It's just some hype that the company's selling you. Cause they'll take a dud talking crud and they'll push him. But in the next
Crud.
year, someone new will just squish him. Cause
Mush
when you
'em.
sell out to appeal to the masses, you have to go back and enroll in some classes. So
Burla.
cash in your check, cause it's the last one you get. The tables have turned and now you're
That's
in the
great.
fed. So jet to the rear, and you better just follow. Cause what's here today may be gone tomorrow.
No.
You whack MCs. See you later. You whack MCs. See you later. Here and gone in a flash. Some make cash while other suckers go broke real fast. Some never make any money, but still they act funny. Like they're thinking they're running. Things wearing rings and medallions. Then listen to their rhymes, one would rather take volumes. Cause swiftness and skills they are lacking. So I'll send the package. They should have known I'd be taxing and smashing all of their vocals to smithereens. Watching them collecting themselves is a bitter scene. But some find happiness while others find sorrow. And what's here today may be gone tomorrow. You whack MCs.
That was one of the first usages of a Cool Keith vocal scratch or sample that
Yeah.
I had heard. Maybe there's others that came before that, but I can't think of any.
You know, I do think that some of Guru's flows on this album are a little bit reminiscent of Cool Keith.
Yeah, I was just talking about the sample.
I know, but it's you sent me on a tangent
The
because
Cool Keith
I was
sample
thinking
prior.
about this before.
In another rap song.
Yeah. No, I don't know
Really?
if I can think of anyone else using Cool Keith that early. Mm,
That early, that's all I'm saying. That early. No.
yeah, I don't know.
No.
But yeah, no, I noticed some flow
But
similarity.
yeah, no. But yeah.
No, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, dude, without a doubt. And they're both named Keith.
Oh my God, you're right.
They're both from the East Coast.
Big shout.
Coincidence? I think not.
Probably not. Definitely not. Yo, this is another one of those Brooklyn groups. We talked about Diggable Planets, but this is the other amazing Brooklyn group with members that are not from Brooklyn.
Isn't Premier from Georgia originally?
Houston,
Or is
I
it
thought.
Texas? Texas, yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Somewhere in Texas. I think it was Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And Guru's from Roxbury, Boston. Same area as Ed OG.
You cut out. I didn't hear what you say.
Oh, I said Guru's from, I
Yeah,
believe, the
say what?
same part of Boston as Ed OG. Roxbury.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
But Brooklyn's the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Another,
I
the
digest.
planet might be my favorite Gang Starr song.
It's a good one.
Damn, I don't know.
My favorite gang, my absolute favorite Gang Starr song is "All Right, Chill."
Yeah,
No, come on, man.
is that so?
You picture that?
No.
I mean, that's kind of up there with me saying "Digital Lover" is my favorite Digital Underground song.
A poet like Langston Hughes and Can't Lose When I Cruise.
Cruise out on the expressway, leaving the bodega. I say,
Out on the expressway.
yeah.
Sorry, I had to lean into his pause there. Pause. There. There's almost a melody to this interlude. Almost.
There's a melody. Well, we can just get right into the meat and potatoes. There we go.
Yes, let us go.
Now what you hear is not a test.
What if it was a test?
Now what you hear is not a test.
So change everything.
Now what you hear is not a test.
Well, goodness gracious, let me just take this time out to pull a rhyme out and update this for you and yours, simply because some MCs have luck but suck. So I pluck them like feathers on the back of a chicken.
Back of a
'Cause I'm
chicken.
mad like a pig when my man says sick 'em. Positive is the mind state, but it can still mean that I will kick a ill, malicious like mean rap. Suckers, they force me to knock them all out, and they think they know things like what I'm about, and they try to analyze, criticize, scandalize. Their outcome is death. Don't ask me to sympathize.
Oh, yeah, you were
Realize
one.
that I'm not to be played with. I flip so fast, you won't know I'm the same kid. I'm tired and fed with all the weak stuff said. All that phony baloney that went out like pro kids. You've got no legs, so you shoot blanks. It's me the crowd thanks as I step to the top ranks. Banking my money and investing it wisely. Snatching up chumps when they try to sneak by me. I'm the dominant one. Call me the prominent one. And as I'm speaking, I'll be bombing the dump. Deaf and blind, cause I was born with a shot mind. Eating MCs with ease like it's lunchtime or crunch time. When they get done without warning, I'll bust that butt from nighttime till morning. Your song's boring, and so I'm scoring much points. Cause when it's time to throw joints, I cause havoc. The mic I grab is like savage. I invade the stage and make you get off. The force is like a 3-8, blowing your head off. And that's just in case you might be wearing a vest. Cause you're simply a pest in this mess. I suggest you take a rest. If this meaning doesn't manifest, put it to rest. Don't ever sleep, son, deep one or two of these lines here. Arranged by a great brain, delivering rhymes clear and concise with a nice dope voice and killing a face like a taste of some poison. Punks are thinking they're all of that. Their voices are all flat. They're finding in the whack rapper's almanac. Me follow that hollow crap? No way, Jose. I'll seek out a better sound to something premier plays. Days will go by and soon you'll know why. MCs like me will rise like the Enterprise Starship, headed straight for the target destination, a place where no perpetration is permitted. The guru's with it to explain how some MCs are scared to ride in a 4 train or any other train in the city for that matter, playing a role that they stole like they're batter. But I know they ain't, so I'll paint the real picture. My vocals go solo and like a bolo I'll hit ya, square in your face or crack the ribs in your chest. Cause you thought your off-brand jam was the best. You fess cause you guessed people would be impressed. I'm gonna bust that bubble on the double. Take the rest.
I love
Bro.
how they use the vocal sample as the verse ending.
An onslaught, man. Jeez,
Yeah.
Murphy.
That's high octane, man.
Dude,
And
I always love that line. I'll pluck them like feathers on the back of a chicken. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, for as much straight down the middle shit as Guru would say, he would occasionally dip into this little bag of weirdness.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know, I didn't realize, according to Wikipedia, this was the second single.
Was it?
I don't even recall it being a single. Does that mean there's a video for it somewhere? Take a rest. Might have to do some internet sleuthing.
Sleuthing? You might have to do some internet sleuthing.
How about that bass line though? Dooba-doo, boop, boop, doop, boop, doop. Filthy.
I hate it.
Very much like kind of one of those like sort of like high intensity things that you might hear like an old Kane verse over or something. You scanning the group or something? Oh, there it is.
Weird, right?
What?
Remix.
Ooh, that sounds even better. Wow, like housey chords in the hook.
That's bug, right? Dude, how have I never seen that shit?
Dude.
I could have potentially gone on years without seeing that had you not brought up that little fact about
It's amazing how stuff flies under the radar, right?
You know, these rap television shows, man, they didn't play every you didn't see every single from an artist.
They couldn't. I mean, look, hip hop was not mainstream back then. You're lucky, most of these shows they had half an hour tops, which means 22 minutes when you factor in the ad time.
Advertisements.
And they spend, a third of that show talking, introducing the videos, or they'll have a 3-minute interview with the guest of the week.
Introductions.
I mean, so how many videos can they get to? You're not getting that much.
Not much. Touch. I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm bugging out.
There. Me neither.
Yeah. How you guys enjoying the show so far? Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. Say what? You took a mad shit at your lunch hour?
No, I took a nap during my lunch.
A nap. All right, a nap. He took a nap.
Yeah, they say naps can prolong your life, so I'm starting to
God, I'm gonna live to 150 then, because I'm a nap ass nigga, man. I nap like left and right, dude. I'm a napaholic. I'm napping up a storm. No, seriously, you know what? I try to squeeze one in daily if I can. I really do.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do.
Sue me.
I'm getting a little better. I'm getting a little better at it. I never used to.
Better. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, y'all. Appreciate the propers.
What? Say what?
They're being nice to us in the chat. It's nice. It's nice peoples.
Really? Should I go to the chat? Okay, let me click over to the chat here.
Sovereign offering up the sage advice.
What are you laughing at? What I miss?
Hold your shit at work if you can. Drop your deuces at home. I support that. It's always a little weird deucing on public property.
Speaking of public deucing, if I'm ever in an emergency in the public and I really need to take a crap somewhere, you got to seek out a Starbucks bathroom, because it's one of the few places where it's like the private. It's just one person. Like it's a guarantee that it's just going to be the one person rooms. Oh,
okay. And they tend to keep them clean?
That's not guaranteed, but they try. They have, I say, higher standards than like the
McDonald's or something.
Sunoco or whatever.
Sunoco.
Shell. You know what I'm saying? Gas stations.
Yeah. Gas stations for sure I avoid if I can.
But I'm saying, yeah, you can always go into a Starbucks and you're gonna be able to shit by yourself, and it's cool. Do what you got to do, right? Man, I'm my mind's all over the place. Now let's get back to the rap.
We're like just past halfway on this album.
I know.
It's a long album.
I told you. Yeah. All right. A telephone, bro. A telephone.
Yeah. Is it? Or an alarm clock?
Fatima, Salika,
Maybe that,
Frida.
too.
Look, I have a question. Just what is it that you need? A man, a lover, maybe someone to talk to, or could it be a scheming? Oh, not you. Well, listen, I got this phone. It's not for business. And who gave you our number? Seriously, what is this? The new fad? Now you want to kick it to a rapper, DJ, or dancer? Well, I don't have the time for no stunts, no hookers and no games. Our name and our fame is for the long way we came. The struggle, the hassle, the hustle, the fight. And you're asking me if you can see me tonight? Don't you know the guru's not the type to be out skeezing? The reason is because I do believe in having the right to choose the one I want. And if I had a girl, why would I front? You're only gonna get your feelings hurt, miss. And truthfully, I really don't wanna have to diss. My music means everything to me, it's my life. So make like a camper and go take a hike. You can't mess with my mind and don't tie up my line. You called yesterday, so what you want this time?
Yeah, what do you want? I love that.
I need to hear the spaghetti line.
Yeah.
I think she's seen me already. Heard us already.
Do you know what that is? The vocal sample?
No.
Hey, yo, Premier, who's that knocking at the door?
Yo, man, it's Vicky.
Vicky, are you sure? The one from down the block who was acting all hot? She stops me all the time and says she likes me a lot. How does she know where we live? I didn't tell her, and word is born, dude. I'm
They
not the
live
fella.
together?
No matter what I say, this young lady's persistent. For instance,
live together?
she watches me from a distance, and if I walk by and I forget to say
Listen
hi,
to the story.
she pushes up
You know
on me
what I'm
and rubs me with her thigh.
Oh.
I told her I was taken, but she doesn't care. Hey, yo, do me a favor. Tell her I'm not here. Forget it. I think she heard my voice already. You can let her in, but I'm trying to cook spaghetti. Oh, hello, how you doing? Who, me? I'm fine. I don't mean to be rude, but
Funny
what you
visual,
want this
man.
time?
It's a funny visual. You like Primo and Guru living together and like, oh, it's your turn to cook tonight, man.
Right, right.
Making their spaghetti so they can sit down and have their dinner together. It's just a funny.
It's pretty
comical.
good.
I always thought it was comical, and that's what I was joking with you about. I was like, what? They live together?
Yeah, Primo's like, dude, she's back again. Also, a rare Primo vocal appearance.
Mm-hmm.
He, unlike the producer whom he is most often compared against, I feel, Pete Rock, does not show up vocally on his records very often at all.
Later on.
Like significantly later on, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good fun. A good, clean, fun song. Dude, that shit would have made a hilarious music video.
That's what I'm saying. We need, like, those were always my favorites when they made videos for songs that told stories.
Yeah.
I mean, Step in the Arena was kind of creative. They had, the weird little like Beyond Thunderdome cage fight situation. But yeah, I love a story. I mean, look, this is why Farside's videos were all so great, because they took you somewhere along with the song that was already taking you somewhere.
Taking you places.
Taking you places.
Yeah.
That's you. That was you. You did that. Girl, what do you want? What is that?
Yeah, I would like to know. Are you going to search for the sample or no?
Nah.
I don't feel like doing that shit. I'm not into that shit. I just want to hear the music.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, man.
Okay.
Presenting you with alternative music, cause yo, the struggle is tough and we must learn to live through it. Pleasure and pain, pain and pleasure. Gotta maintain a balance to obtain the treasure. Not really preaching or teaching, but just reaching out to a brother or sister who is keeping the faith and trying hard to get it straight.
The time is crucial, so I think we must congregate. Let's have a meeting of the minds before we all fall and get left far behind. Finding a way is important. Map out a plan, take a stand. You can work it. The future's all in your hands, and so of yourself, yeah, you should be demanding. We're all responsible for whatever outcome. That's why I speak over beats for my income. Knowledge is key, and if you ask what is it, G, it's just a form of my style of street ministry.
Ministry.
Street ministry. Street ministry. Street ministry.
Finding a way is important. Here we go.
I didn't have much to say about Street Ministry because it's kind of like an interlude type of track.
It's a very friendly song.
It's like an uncle.
Yeah.
Brothers are amused by other brothers' reps, but the thing you know best is where the gun is kept. Cause in the night you'll feel fright, and at the sight of a 4/5, I guess you just might wanna do a dance or two. Cause he can maybe bust you for self or with a crew. No matter if you or your brother's a star, he could pop you in jet without a getaway car. And some might say that he's a dummy, but he's sticking you and taking all of your money. It's a daily operation. He might be loose in the park or lurking at the train station. Mad brothers know his name, so he thinks he got a little fame from the stick-up game. And while we're blaming society, he's at a party with his man. They got the iron and gold chain that the next man's wearing. It looks big, but they ain't staring, just thinking of a way and when to get the brother. They'll be long gone before the kid recovers. And back around the way, he'll have the chain on his neck, claiming respect just to get a rap.
Ooh.
10 brothers in a circle, had the kid trapped. The one with the hoodie said will hurt you if you don't run out your dues and pay. Give up the Rolex watch or you won't see another day. See, they were on the attack, and one said, yo, you wanna make this to a homicide rap? Make it fast so we can be on our way. Kick in the rings and everything, okay? The kid was nervous and flinching, and little Shorty with the 3-8, yo, he was inching. Closer and closer, put the gun to his head. Shorty was down to catch a body instead. Money was scared, so he panicked. Took off his link and his rings and ran frantic. But Shorty said, nah, pull the trigger and step. It was nothing. He did it just to get a rap.
If you're in rap music and you don't know that song,
Right.
I don't know where you've been.
That's like, yeah, that's one of the sort of like prerequisite.
You know, in the jazz world, they always, you know, there's standards, right? The jazz
Yeah, you
standards.
could.
The modern
there's-
classic jazz standard. Well, it's the same shit in rap. I think we're at an age in rap now where we have that, and you are gonna start seeing. Mark my words, you're gonna start seeing more younger or contemporary artists start to do covers of classic rap songs. And
Yeah,
they
I
are
can
gonna
see
become
that.
standards in every form of the word. That's
At
that's
least in a performance setting, for sure.
that's
You gots to. No, this is like if you're gonna teach a hip hop 101 class, that song needs to be in there.
mm-hmm.
For sure. And
How you
nice
doing?
and smooth. A little
Yeah.
a little foreshadow of the eventual Dweck.
Little for what?
I
You
said
cut out there for a
a
second.
little foreshadow of the eventual Dweck.
Yeah, no doubt. I always chuckle when I think of Greg Nice saying Dizzy Gillespie played the sax.
Yeah, I gotta love that. At least you got
MC
the right genre of music.
MCs, if you're gonna pull out some quotes or whatever, do know your homework.
Yeah,
Know
it's
what you're
okay to
saying.
fact check. Like say a line and then maybe make sure that the line was right before you finalize it.
I'm pretty gosh darn certain that I'm guilty of doing that. I'm probably on multiple occasions.
Oh, I definitely am. I definitely am. I mean, Mo, I wrote a whole song based around an incorrect meaning of a word. And then I had to go back. I recorded it, like final draft, everything. I was like, yes, this is ready for mastering. And then I was listening back to it one day and I was like, wait a minute, that's not what that word means. And I had to rewrite the whole song.
Wait, what was that?
Wait, sorry?
What was that?
The word was infinitesimal.
Mm.
And I had written the song as if it had meant just infinite, which it's sort of the opposite in a way.
So that reminds me of Keith Murray's song "Psychosomatic."
Right? Yeah. That's great. That's a good example. Or like, or even like Alanis Morissette, "Ironic." All these examples that she gave in that song were not even really examples of irony.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that shit. I also love when people...
I'm sad, but I'm happy. I'm mad, but I'm really neat. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because like, I got one hand in my pocket, one hand on my pocket, and the other is waving a peace sign. That one?
That's no, ironic. I think that's a different one. That's a different one.
Oh, wait, that's a different track?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's like rain on a wedding day.
On a wedding day, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm thinking of a whole different shit, man. Yeah. Shout out to Alanis, man. She had bangers, man.
Yeah. Oh man, is this Will? I was about to bring out a Rascas example. That's not that one. He said on Nature of the Threat when Rascas goes on about Baghdad, Turkey. He made a lot of minor errors.
I gotta say, man, I mean that's something that happened a lot in rap. But you know, a lot of us were like in our teens and we're getting our information not from textbooks or what, you know, we're just hearing things. We're like, all right, that's gonna go in the rap. You know what I'm saying?
Or they're reading shit on their own and it wasn't actually taught to them.
Yeah,
so they're not taught how to necessarily pronounce certain things, or you know what I mean? Like, the example I think of is when Rascas said he had an adamantanium skeleton like Wolverine, which is granted it's a made up metal, adamantium, but he added a whole extra syllable to the word.
Yeah, why not?
For the sake of rhyme. It was just, you got it wrong.
A lot of MCs like to use the word dramatical.
Oh, dramatical's good.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
It's all good in the hood, man.
Or like instead of a debate, you have a debation.
Oh, here's one of the most frequently what is it? Conversate.
Oh, conversate is good. Yeah.
Imaginate.
Wascals. Dream and imaginate. They put it in a song title.
Yeah. It's Rakim, isn't it?
Oh, did he originally say that?
Oh, here we go.
So many things will happen that one can't explain. You find yourself saying, why me? Time and again. They say what goes around comes around. So think about it while you're messing up, clown. A mother's love and a father's concern. Here is the reason you should listen and learn. Cause quick schemes and fast living can kill you. I know how the excitement and danger.
The horns at the end of the song. The scratch.
From somebody who knows.
Yeah.
Cause after all the highs, you're gonna feel all the lows. This is why knowledge of self is essential. Cause if you don't have it, you may simply go mental. See, life is not a thing to be toyed with. Cause every second
Another dream is destroyed with the systematic plan devised to erase us. And straight to hell is where they're trying to take us. But never fold and hold back your fears. Have a strong mind and try to say your prayers.
Yeah, love that shit. We can just go right to it. You want to pause it? You had something to say about it?
No, I'll come back to it. Oh, you're gonna make me say it now, huh?
You know it.
I believe the Roots flipped that same sample for a Silent Treatment remix.
Is that so?
And it made me think it might be fun to deviate from the script at some point and do an episode dedicated to who flipped it best. And just do like a series of songs that used the same samples and just kind of delve into some of that.
Smorgasbord. Yeah, that could be something.
Could be fun.
Oh shit! The live section's going off right now.
Ah yeah. AMD.
Paragraphs portraying my viewpoint, so stay attentive, cause this is a new joint. From the GANG with the info, lyrical elements emerge from the intro, forming a poetic mass over pathetic trash. Other writers are outclassed, surpassed by the words and the wit. Rhymes fit and hit, cause it's how we designed it. Page for page, we are the new age. Dope in the videos and dope when on stage. Commanding respect with my ink pen, while suckers are sinking. As I'm keeping them thinking, narrative phrases of value, and I can see now you relate to what I create. From back in the days of my youth, I've looked for the truth. And yo, my rhymes are the real proof. New heights and new realms have been reached by use of my speech along with one of Premier's beats. So listen and we'll show you the best way, and then sway as I read my essay.
That's a superhero sample, huh?
Yeah. So triumphant.
This time I have the honor to present to you.
Worshipful words giving insight, so just be observant, so that you can get this right. My oratory gift is abundant, so dazzling to minds that you should come get a glimpse of the one who puts whimps out of work. The script is a mess and they dress like the jerks. Beyond them is where I'll be dwelling. The guru will tell them why their records ain't selling. Placing my fingers on the tool, I'll run away all fools when I'm dispersing a verse. Think of an enjoyable moment, then boogie your body, cause it's party I own it. The origin of this is on paper. Vibes will ascend from my mind to each line. I go with the flow as I show expertise. The powers increase as my voice hits the streets. Then gripping your soul with authority, I pour these rhymes in a cup, so drink up. And then I may bring another round. Watch the sound pound from the floor to the ground. And keep aware, cause we'll show you the best way. And then sway as I read my essay.
He was really leaning in. He was really leaning into the spaces and pauses on that joint.
Yeah, very much so.
That was one of the styles that he did a lot in the earlier years that I love. There was a frequent theme in his vocal styling.
Or
Yeah. And started chewing my head off.
Yeah.
Those are just some friends in the business.
I like how he'll say a thing and you're like, what the heck? And then he explains it after.
Yep.
It like he brings it in as if it's a non sequitur, and then he ties it in with the rest of the line.
No matter what, when it comes to Guru, he always kicks precisely the right rhyme.
Yes. Yes, he does.
I forgot how much I love this song.
It's a good one.
My subject matter and context are blessed. Vocal inflection connects. It's a slugfest. Ladies approach to hear quotes from the spokesman. Thoughts are like oceans for my lyrics to float in. I'm absolutely astute, so salute. You try to be cute and you get tossed like a crapshoot. Don't misinterpret or slander. Just get with the words and the way I command you. Cause you're in the right place. And luckily it's the right time. And since I'm inclined, I'll kick precisely the right rhyme.
Yeah, this is one of the dopest cuts on the record.
Listen, 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 I'll tell you. My rhymes are like shelter, or rather like an umbrella, protecting you from the weak stuff you heard from those cream puffs.
One of my
About the
favorite
schemes
all-time
that they
drum breaks.
dreamed up. About the way they slaved this one or that one, but won't step to me, cause they know the last one, who tried to match the panache of the guru, received a curse that was much worse than voodoo. Cause the effect of my voice is immense. It would make more sense if suckers hide in the basement. But yo, I don't look for hassles. My rhymes are like castles. I got much flavor in class too. I know you've noticed I'm a writer.
Didn't even
of
explain
hype
that one.
Because I'm inclined to kick precisely the right rhyme.
We'll just have to accept that his rhymes are like castles.
Just a little disclaimer: whenever you hear me and Cy, like, laugh at a line or whatever, we're not clowning. It's just because as MCs, like, when we hear another MC choose the most unobvious line, I don't know. It just fucking sends me, man.
Yeah, that's where the fun is, man. Because and I encourage you, if you've never like sat and like tried to write a song of any sort, it doesn't have to be rap, any genre, but some of the joy is in the decision making around the lyrics. And I think one of the things that we get so tickled by is the complete bafflement of why sometimes MCs choose certain lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. It's like you could go anywhere with this shit. You could take anything anywhere you want,
That was a good one though. My rhymes are like castles. I got my flavor in class 2.
Yes.
And just moments like that, man.
No explanation required.
Last song, man. Somehow we did it.
Oh, we got there. Okay. What is the meaning of the name?
The meaning of the name, Gang Starr, well, I'll tell you. It means I find my mind can excel to a greater type of thought, brought by the things that I've been taught in relation to things that I rebel to, divinely combined with a sense of confidence. Accomplishments are achieved on floppy disks, but sloppiness, I could never tolerate it. Not the ghoul nor premiere. You don't know how long we waited, while other groups have faded. Just like here,
you did great on Fast Beat.
To open the ear ducts of your brain, to expose every vein. Cause you sound plain, insane, and mundane. It's a shame. You got no beats, so you get no seats at this table. You ain't stable with the mic cable. Cain and Abel, jealous brothers. And I knew some girls who were overzealous lovers. But back to the act of developing a Gang Starr trap. It means that nothing can be whacked. The music is picked right, the mic is grip tight. The lyrics are kicked right to a beat like kryptonite power. Not withstood by any mortal or immortal. To make it get on the floor till another dope jam. We slam with precision, bringing beams of light like the colors in a prism or reflections through a spectrum. And all the soft, silly suckers, I'ma wet them. In other words, destroy, boy, and then claim my fame. This is the meaning of the name.
What does the dog mean? 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 What does the dog mean?
Gang Starr, it means a lot to me. It means I'm free to bust rhymes sporadically. Gang represents my boys are a posse, so just back up off me. And the star symbolizes the power, making the suckers and weak brothers cower. We got strong, intelligent minds with a street sense. Crazy offense, stupid defense. Now, have I made myself clear? Or do I have to call on DJ Premier? For he and I make up the songs that you long for. Meanwhile, ducks knock on the wrong door. Waiting for a call for the doors to open. Because they're hoping that they'll get chosen. But to be chosen is a divine gift. You better get a job quick. See, you can't rhyme and all your beats are weak. You ought to take a peek and check out the technique. Seek, and you shall find. Gang Starr stands for mastermind. Simple and plain, and yo, this ain't no game, Lane. This is the meaning of the name.
What does the dog mean?
So there you have it. Step in the arena. We hope you guys enjoyed this little stroll down memory lane.
Agreed. What you think, y'all? Did anybody in the chat not know this album?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
It's important, formative stuff.
Important, formative. Yeah.
Somebody said something about AC Alone. I want to see what that was. Part of the reason Is This Will are part of the reason I love this album. It's the same reason I love AC and Mumble's Book of Human Language, the choice of music that is inherently sophisticated for simple samples.
Well said.
I like that.
Well said.
Incidentally, we did do an episode on the Book of Human Language, so please check that out if you haven't.
You can go back and check it out. If you
That's
haven't.
one of my favorite albums, I think. It's a special album.
It is.
But yeah. So, thank you everyone. We gang started today.
Yes, we did. We finally did. We finally
Yeah.
did.
It took a while for us to get around to these guys.
Yeah. I want to do the knots at some point.
We have to.
Yeah.
We will. We will, for sure.
Oh, yes. So many memories indeed, Ash Deli. Absolutely. Like here too. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. There was a particular time, man. My homeboy Che, you never met him, but this
Imperial?
Yeah, Che Imperial. Man, this album, like this was like me and his shit. This was like our like fucking weapon, man. We used to muse about this for hours on end in the same way that you and I do when it comes to, quirkiness and all that.
Yeah.
This
Sick.
album reminds me of him in a big way.
Take me
He's still around. I don't see him no more, but he's still alive and shit.
Okay, dope. I remember his name from time. But hey, can you take me back? Because I kind of mentioned how I discovered this record. But what about
Congrats,
you?
Canada, on the election going so smooth. Yeah, right. Oh, this shit's a disaster, man.
Were you anticipating Step in the Arena? Like, were you already a fan of Gang Starr when this was coming out?
Huh?
Like, were you into Gang Starr at the time of No More Mr. Nice Guy?
No, you know what? I didn't listen to that Mr. Nice Guy at all when it came out. This was my introduction. So
This
I
was your intro. Okay.
album late. Yeah.
Awesome.
I went back.
Same
Of course, but yeah, just time wise, this one. I mean, I knew about Gang Starr clearly, but yeah, this was the album that hooked me in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feel that. That.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I don't know why I hadn't got, because at the same time I was fortunate to get into rap in what some would argue the early years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I was pretty young, and there's a lot of shit I missed that I just didn't have access to either. Being where I'm from.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, that's it, guys. Wrapping it up.
I think so.
Tic-tac-toe. See you later.
Of We Got More with the Loonies and Digital Underground. That is from an album that I absolutely intend to review on this podcast at some point. But yeah, I just wanted to toss that in there.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you. Bye.
Peace.